Have you heard of the new Temu shopping app? There's a bunch of stuff you need to know, and I'm going to talk about it starting right now.
This is Debt Free in 30. Here's your host, Doug Hoyes.
Online shopping isn't new. There's all sorts of apps, and of course the most common one is Amazon. But is shopping supposed to be a game? That's where we get into a discussion of the Temu shopping app. It's an app that has been around in Canada only for a few months, and it's now got millions of monthly users. How did they manage to grab so much market share so quickly? We're going to talk about that. But I think there's a darker side to all this, and that's really why I wanted to do this show. So a few weeks ago, I got an email from my father, who is 87 years old, and he said, hey, I want to buy this thing, and I found this place to buy it. And I'm going, okay, well, Amazon, or no, it's something different. And I thought, okay, that sounds like a scam. How did you find out about this? What's going on? What's the scoop? So I took my podcasting equipment, drove up to his house, and I asked him, tell me the story. Let's play the clip. Here's my father explaining Temu. So we are at an undisclosed location, my father's house. Not going to say where it is for security reasons. North of Toronto. That's all I will say. And I just so happened to have all my podcasting gear as I was coming in for a visit. So a few weeks ago, you emailed me and you said, hey, I've got this thing I want to buy, and I found it through Temu. So tell me the story. What was the thing you wanted to buy?
Well, I was looking on, can I say Amazon?
You can say that. They're not a sponsor of the show, but if they want to be, they certainly could be.
And I was looking for a doorbell. And I'm in a condo with a stone brick exterior, so I didn't want to have an electrician having to drill and everything, so I wanted wireless. And then an ad came on. I was looking through things, and then an ad came on about this Temu, or Temu.
Or Temu. We're not really sure how to pronounce it, but let's call it Temu.
Temu. And I looked on that, and I saw doorbells. And I saw them at a price that I couldn't quite believe. And I thought, what am I going to do here? So
what was the price?
The price ranged, I think the top price was something like $60-some for one. This one that I was looking at looked the same and had the same features, was $39.
$39. Canadian dollars. Okay.
Yes.
And so then what happened?
So I emailed you and said, hey, am I in trouble here, or what? Is this a gimmick? Is this a lead on to something? And
I said probably, because
yes.
So how old are you?
I'm 87 years
87 years old. So when an 87-year-old guy says, oh, I found this thing on my phone, I think it's a great deal, it's only $39, my initial reaction was, yeah, sure, sounds like a scam, because most things like that are a scam. And I then asked my son, who is your grandson, and he said, well, I've never heard of it, but let me do a quick check. Oh, yeah, it's out of China. So probably whatever they're doing, they're going to grab all your data, and it's going to be a big security hack and whatever. And of course, my sons, both of them, who of course you know are both computer guys and are quite interested and understand security and all the rest of it. And so you said, well, I don't care. It's a really good price. So you ordered it. So tell me the story from there.
Well, I just finally said, well, I don't have much to worry about. If you want to hack me, and maybe I'll get that cleared up. But so I went on the website. I found this doorbell, and I thought that's what I want because it's visible and somebody can see it before they get there. It has a camera. It has motion detection. It's Wi-Fi. Everything that I thought would work for me.
And we'll show a picture of it, but it's on the door right behind us here, and it's got a camera in it. It's got a button, and someone pushes the button, and it beeps on your phone. You can see who's there. You can talk to them.
And it beeps in the house. It has a chime.
There's also a chime, an internal chime. Okay, so it costs $39, so you ordered it.
Yes.
how long did it take to get here?
4 days.
4 days. And so the sales pitch they gave was, we're not Amazon, because with Amazon, it'll come in a day. Why does it take 4 days?
Because they said I don't know where I learned this, but they said there is no middleman, that we don't have a warehouse in Canada. Everything is shipped from China. And so they have all their supplies there. So it will take, and we will tell you how many days it will take to get to you, and you can track it. We'll give you a tracking number so you can tell where it is and when it's going to be delivered. And so I went ahead and ordered it, and they wanted my credit card number because that's how I paid for it. And I thought, well, I wonder if $39 will come through or not. And sure enough, I get an email and said, we have your order. It is confirmed, and your item will arrive in 4 days. And if it doesn't arrive on I think it was the 19th, we will give you a $5 credit for your next purchase. Well, okay, that's a lead on again. That's fine. What's the final price? And so then they gave me another email. Here is your order, and here's what it's going to cost. And sure enough, at the bottom, it has total price $39. So that included the tax and delivery right to my mailbox in the condo here.
Total price $39.
Yep.
And the price of something similar when you looked around at Amazon or Canadian Tire, wherever else, would be what?
$100.
So this was definitely cheaper. And now we just installed it this morning and it works. You can look on your iPhone and see the person at the door and you can talk to them and everything. So we know the thing actually works. Now, whether it's going to last for 10 years or not, we don't know. Okay, so it arrived, and then what happened after that? Tell me about the $5.
Well, it actually arrived on time.
So they said it would be here by Thursday at 5 p.m. or whatever, and it was
here Thursday at 3 p.m. But then they emailed me right away and said, "Oh, you didn't get your item in time."
Even though you did.
Even though I did, I'm not going to. What do I do to tell you it did arrive? You should know that. So they said, no, didn't arrive. You get a $5 credit. So I just left it at that and said, fine. And then I see something else. This is the gimmick, I guess, that they want me to look at. But I have been looking for a hall tree for hanging coats and that when you come in the door here.
So a metal thing that can, attach the wood thing that can, you just put it right by your door and you can hang stuff up on or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
And those at Walmart even were $100 and some for the cheapest one. And then I looked on Amazon again, and then I looked at Temu again. $36
for this thing you wanted.
For what I wanted. It looked, and the people that responded said, no, it's sturdy. It does exactly what we want. It's stylish. It looks fine. It works. I thought, okay, I will order it for $36. And I did. And the order, we've got your order. And the final price is $31 because we've applied the $5 credit without me asking or saying anything. Automatically credited for $31, and it's on my credit card at that. And again, that's delivery, taxes, everything.
And so that hasn't arrived yet, no, but it's going to arrive in the next 5 days or 10 days or whatever. They've given you a date. So, okay. So that's interesting. So you found it. You're not quite sure how. There was an ad or something.
It was on I go searching through things and something popped up. It said a new website, and I think I was looking at Amazon at the time, and this one popped up in the corner, Temu. I thought, so I clicked on it, and it said this is a new firm, and it's in China, and we are starting to compete directly with Amazon.
And so I'm trying to find the angle here because, of course, the people who watch this podcast, we give advice and how do you know what's happening out there. And so, okay, it's less expensive than what other stuff is. Now, we don't know what the quality level is compared to something else because you didn't buy the exact same thing somewhere else, and we'll check back in 5 years to see if it's still working. But it was so much less expensive than a comparable product that I guess your attitude is, oh, well, I guess if it breaks in a few months or a year or 2 years, no big deal. I got my money out of it anyways. And then what interests me is this $5 credit, yes, which almost seems like they were going to give you that credit regardless. And because you've got a credit, it's like, well, now that thing I want to buy is even $5 cheaper. I don't want my $5 credit to go to waste, so I'm going to buy the thing. Is that the other possible angle here?
Sure. Now, I think exactly. They're just trying to get as many people involved in buying stuff as possible. And so I was going to buy that whole thing before I saw this. And anyway, and that's why I said I was looking at Walmart to see they have them online and that, but nothing is close to the same price. So we'll see what the quality of this thing when it comes.
Now, you have coffee with the guys here at the condo every morning, and you've told them about this, and none of them have used it, I assume, because they're all 87 years old too, probably. Do you think this is something that is targeted at 87-year-olds? And I'm going to have on this same podcast somebody who's 18 years old who's also using it, so I'm quite interested in the differences between the two. Do you think it's something that's going to appeal to pretty much every age group, or well, I mean, you tell me about your daughter, who happens to be my sister, because she's also bought something through this.
I think there's the important thing. They want the younger people. I did it because I'm a cheapskate. Mm-hmm. And the people here, they're not looking for the cheapest. They'll go out and buy it and be done with it.
They'd rather go to the store, see what they're getting. So,
yeah.
Okay, so this is something then that appeals to the cheapskate, someone who I want the best deal I can get. And if I'm not getting the absolute highest quality, well, I'm not as concerned about that, but at least I'm getting what I want. So, okay, well, that's what I wanted to know. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Is this going to be the kind of thing where you're getting a special offer every week and you end up spending $1,000 of my inheritance on Temu every week? Or is it more like, well, no, I know what I'm looking for, and if I can get it cheaper, then I will. So there you go. You heard him explain it in his own words. He found this thing he wanted to buy. He bought it, and it ended up being a lot cheaper than what he would have had to pay if he'd gone to a store or if he'd bought it on Amazon. And the only apparent downside appears to be that perhaps the quality isn't the top quality that you could possibly get, but it's also shipping from China, which means it's going to take a few more days to get here. It's not like Amazon where it'll be delivered to your house the next day. It could take 5 days, 10 days, whatever. In his case, it was only a few days and it was there. He installed it. You saw the pictures of it. It worked. Everything's good, right? And the interesting part to me was this credit that they gave him. So you heard him describe it. He said, if it's not delivered by a certain date, we're going to give you a $5 credit. Well, it actually was delivered on time, but they still gave him the credit, the $5 credit. And as a result, hey, I'm more likely to buy something again from them because I've got this credit. So that's an interesting little marketing strategy, if that's what it was. Well, there's a lot more to Temu than that, and there's a lot more gamification to it. So I've got another guest who's going to come on. She's a lot younger than my father. She's only 18 years old, so she's a little more in tune with what the young people are doing today. So here is Ariana explaining what she knows about Temu and what she's bought and how it's worked. Let's play that clip. Okay, so here's what I want to know. Temu. Have you ever heard of Temu?
Yep.
And so explain to me, what is Temu? Is it like Amazon? Like what's the deal?
So it's a shopping app, but what it's doing is it's getting you to share the app with all of your friends, everybody, to get them to sign up for an account to give you free stuff.
So how does this work then? I log into the thing.
Yeah.
And I want to buy, what would I be buying on this thing?
Clothes. There's like hundreds of categories. It's like Amazon. You can get anything.
You're saying I need new clothes. Okay. So I need clothes. And so I go on, there's a search thing and I can find the shirt I want or whatever.
Okay.
So I click on the button. Then what happens?
It will most of the time offer you 80% off or whatever, and then say you can get the extra like 20% off if you send this link, text it to your friends, and every time you get somebody to sign up and make a new account, you get another $1 off.
Okay, now 80% plus 20%, that's 100%.
Yep.
So I go on to buy this thing and it says, hey, we're giving you an 80% discount anyways, which is, I guess, the price everyone is paying then. Like that's, everyone's getting 80%. It's a bit of a marketing thing. But you said if I send a link to my friend, I'll get a further 20% discount. In other words, the thing is free.
Yeah.
So I put in my friend's email.
Yeah, their phone number, whatever. You just send the link to everybody you can.
And why would I send it to more than one person? If I get the 100%, what do I care?
You have to send it to multiple people. So most of the time it'll be like 4, 7, anywhere in that range.
So the computer will tell you, hey, today the deal is you got to send it out 4 times or 7 times or whatever.
Yeah.
And do you use this app on your phone or on your computer?
Your phone.
And is that the way everyone does it? It's a phone thing?
I believe so, yeah.
And you have to put in your phone number.
Yep.
So they know where you are. This sounds like a bit of a, I don't know, they can track your phone. Okay, so as a marketing thing, we're going to give you a really big discount. Now tell me about the wheel spinning thing. What's the deal on that?
It's just kind of more of a marketing thing, I guess, because you spin it, but it gives everyone the same thing every time.
So I'm going to buy this thing and it says, here, spin the wheel. So it's like Wheel of Fortune or something, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're spinning the wheel and what could it land on?
It gives you a bunch of different percents off, but every time it gives you the biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, but in order to get the percent off, I got to send the link to my friends.
Yeah.
And so this is a brilliant marketing thing then, because I'm getting all my friends involved and I'm getting really cheap prices as a result.
Yes.
Now, are the products I'm buying the same quality as everywhere, different? What's your opinion on that?
I find with any actual product like home decor, anything like that, it's fine quality. Like it's nothing you wouldn't find at like HomeSense. But with clothes, it's sheen quality. Like you'll probably get a couple wears out of it a month or two.
Sheen quality.
Yeah.
You got to dumb this down here because I don't know what that means. So what does that mean?
So Shein is a really big fast fashion site and it's just very cheap, very quickly made so they can sell it as cheap as they can.
Gotcha. And so that shirt that I like to buy might cost how much?
$4.
$4.
Yeah.
And how long is it going to take to get to my house?
A week or two.
Because it's coming from China. They don't have distribution sites like Amazon. There's one down the street, whereas this is, so I'm getting a good price, but it's going to take longer to get here and the quality may not be top of the line. Wonderful stuff. Now, explain to me about espresso machines.
That's one of the things that you can get on there. For me, I was supposed to send it to 7 people.
So there's something you wanted to buy.
Yeah.
So you spun the wheel and said, okay, if you send a link to 7 people, then you either get a big discount or it's free, depending on what deal they're giving you.
Yeah.
Now, the 7 people I'm sending this to, what do they have to do?
They just have to download the app and make a new account, and that's it.
So they don't have to buy anything.
Nope.
Make a new account, and you're in. So you are younger than I am, I'm willing to bet. Is this something that all of the people of your age, 40 years younger than me, are using, or?
Yeah, well, not everybody, but like most people are, yeah.
So if I was to talk to your friends, they'd all go, oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Because just before we started recording, we talked to one of our other trustees who will remain nameless, and he had no clue what you were talking about. And when you first mentioned this to me, I also had no clue what you were talking about, other than the fact that I had heard about it from my father, who is much older than you as well. So, okay, so the deal is I got to sign up my friends and I get deals.
Yep.
And once I run out of friends, I'm still getting a pretty good deal, but not as good.
Yeah. If you can send the link to your friends if they already have an account, but instead of usually when you send it to a friend and they download a new account, it's a full $1 off. They give you a full $1 and you have to get it free or else you're paying full price. But if you send it to a friend that already has an account, it still gives you 50 cents. So
Wow.
now instead of sending it to 7 people, you're sending it to 14.
But if the thing I was going to buy is $4, well, now maybe I'm paying $3.50 or $3, so I'm getting like a really, really good price. This sounds to me like something that they will be doing to build up their base, but at some point they can't keep doing this forever. So when were you first aware of Temu?
A couple weeks ago, my friend sent me a link. She was trying to get this outfit for free or whatever. I downloaded it, and right away you make the account and it pops up, oh, you can get this for free. And you press the button and then it tells you,
Gotcha.
you got to do this.
So this is something that's been around since, I don't know, February or March of 2023. It's not been around for a long time. And this is the way they're getting it out there, because I haven't seen any advertising on the TV or the radio or anything for it. I mean, I don't watch TV, so maybe it's out there. But so this is how they're doing it, getting it out there that way. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. So do you expect you will continue to use it so long as the deals are there?
No, because I'm just using it to get the free stuff. And then once I can't send it to anybody else, what's the point?
So you'll just buy whatever you want wherever else you would have wanted. So right now it's almost like a game, I guess. You're playing the system. Good for you. And why not? Excellent. That's what I wanted to know. Thanks very much. That was interesting, wasn't it? So Temu is not just a shopping app like Amazon. It is almost a game. In fact, that's exactly how I would describe it. If I can sign up a number of my friends, then I get special benefits from it. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Why are we talking about this though? Well, because if you have other incentives when it comes to purchasing something, are you more likely to buy more stuff? That's the big question. So if I buy something at the store, I buy it and I get the thing. If I go to Amazon, I buy it, I get the thing. But if I buy something through Temu, maybe I'm going to get a $5 credit like my father got, or maybe I earn points or rewards or whatever that I can be then using towards other purchases. And if I purchase a certain amount of stuff, or more importantly, if I sign up enough of my friends, then I'm also getting a deal. And it's not as simple as just I'm going to get a discount. I might actually be getting a bunch of stuff free depending on how many of my friends I can sign up. So it's shopping gamification. Now, this isn't a new concept. I mean, apps you may already use like Starbucks or McDonald's already incorporate gamification where you get rewards for spending. Rewards like stars or points, which you can use later to redeem free things. Okay, that's cool. But why could that possibly be bad? Because what gamification is really doing is tapping into your instinct for competition. It's manipulation. It keeps you engaged. It keeps you coming back. This is great for the business. They can retain your loyalty. That's pretty good, and continue to be more efficient because now you're doing all their marketing for them. But is it good for you, the consumer? Not necessarily. The danger is it can become so addicting that you lose sight of your own spending habits. So how is Temu like a game? Well, the more you can get others to sign up, the more credit you earn. That kind of sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. Now, okay, I guess technically it isn't a pyramid scheme, but that's kind of the way it looks to me. And you got to look at, am I going to be annoying all my friends and family by sending them here a link to sign up? And I understand that the way it works, if I send that link to my friend and all my friend has to do is sign up. They don't have to actually buy anything. And that gives me the credit, the point, the star, whatever. But still, is that something that you really want to be doing to your friends? Now, here's the other area that really concerns me, and that is data. Think about it. Any app is gathering information about you, but in Temu in particular, it's how is that data being used? So they know everything about me, I mean, everything I've purchased, but they also know who my friends are, who my contacts are. There's a lot of data being gathered here. Temu, okay, I guess notionally is US based, but they are a subsidiary of PDD Holdings, which is a multinational company with roots in China. And it also operates a sister site to in China. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Pinduoduo or something. I'll put the words up on the screen. You can figure out how to pronounce it. That site has come under fire for bypassing users' cell phone security to monitor activities on other apps and check notifications and read private messages. You heard it in what Ariana said. A lot of the purchases, they want you to do them over your phone. You're not sitting down at the website, you're doing it through the app on your phone. Well, how do they verify it? They need to know your cell phone number. Well, now they know your cell phone number, and of course, they know where you are because your cell phone has GPS stuff on it. Are they tracking all of that? I don't know. But it's certainly something to think about. The more that is being done on your cell phone, the more possibility it is that there's also malware that's getting identified, exploiting vulnerabilities. That sort of worries me. How can you be certain that your data is safe with this app? I don't know. So my first issue, the gamification of shopping. The second one is data. And the third one is the products that you are getting through Temu are, in almost all cases, cheaper than products you'd be getting somewhere else. Hey, isn't cheaper always better? And their sales pitch is pretty clear. We've eliminated the middleman. You're getting it directly from China. It's not coming to a distribution warehouse like Amazon does. So we cut out the middleman. That's why the prices are cheaper. Well, okay, I guess that does kind of make sense. And I guess I'm paying for it in the sense that delivery takes longer. But was it worth it what you spent? So if you're buying a shirt and it's only going to last for 3 or 4 wearings and it's cheaper and you're going to throw it out, is that a good deal, or would you have been better off buying something of higher quality that could have lasted longer? I don't know. Here's the practical advice. I think it is very important that as consumers, we recognize when we are being had. Now, I've made this comment many times before. If the price you are paying is really low, it could be that you are actually the product. You're not the consumer, you're the product. When you go on something like Facebook, it doesn't cost you any money. You don't have to pay a fee to be on Facebook. Why? Well, because you are the product that is being sold to advertisers. It's free to use the Google search engine. Why? Because you are the product that is being sold to advertisers. Well, if Temu's prices are so much lower than everybody else, why is that? Is it as simple as, hey, you know what? We're shipping direct from China. That's why this $100 item, we can sell it for $30? Maybe. It certainly appears to me, though, from a business point of view, that what they are doing is building up their business. It makes sense. When you start out a new business, if you undercut the prices and do it way cheaper than everyone else, you're going to get a whole lot of new customers. That, it seems to me, is what they're doing now. They're trying to build up their user base, and they're doing it with games, with all these credits, with all the other incentives they offer. Is it possible that once they've got everybody signed up, that all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, but gradually the prices of their products are going to increase? I don't know. It's quite possible. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't use this app or that app. I don't care. It's up to you. But I think you should certainly understand what you are getting yourself into. If there's something I wanted to buy and I did my research and it was going to cost $100 on Amazon or $100 at the store and $30 on Temu, okay, well then I guess I'm saving a lot of money. And if I'm willing to wait a few extra days for it to be delivered, maybe that's all great. So maybe there's nothing wrong with it at all. And I don't have to sign up my friends. I don't have to do any of those other games that they're talking about. I can buy just what I want and that's it. And if that's the case, that's fine. But am I going to buy more stuff because it's cheaper? And so overall, I end up buying more stuff, spending more, and maybe I'm getting stuff that I don't need? I think that's something to think about. But you also want to be considering the fact that if I am playing these games, am I buying more than I otherwise would have? Am I not buying something that I want or need, but I'm buying something to satisfy the games? Am I worried about where my data is going? Is that something I should be concerned about? I guess that's the same question you should be asking. We should be asking about everything. When I'm going and using that rewards card at the coffee shop, am I buying more coffee than I otherwise would have if I wasn't getting the rewards? Maybe, maybe not. I don't have any specific opinion on this, but because I had heard about Temu from two different sources, a senior citizen and a teenager, and they were both telling me about this great new thing, I thought, well, this is an interesting thing that's out there. We should be aware of it. I've talked to a few people over the last week or two, and I said, hey, have you heard of this thing? And they said, no, I haven't heard of it. So it's still not as widespread as everyone, as it perhaps will be 6 months from now. So that's why I wanted to put out this podcast. Let people know what's going on, let you know sort of how the tricks work and what's happening, and then you can decide for yourself whether you use it or not. Yes, it might be cheaper, but the shipping takes longer. They may have ways to suck you in with different games. Maybe the quality isn't as good. Maybe the data may end up going to places you don't want it to go to. But it's your decision. Perhaps the cheaper price is all that matters, and it works, and that's what you want to do. But you want to decide. That's the whole key. You're the one who decides. You don't want anyone else pushing you into something that you haven't thought about. You want to understand that there's a game going on here. And so long as you understand that and you want to play the game, fine. It's entirely up to you. That's my take on Temu. You can leave a comment below as to whether I am completely out to lunch on this and don't have any clue what I'm talking about, or whether this makes sense. If you are watching on YouTube, again, please like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. And there is a comment section on YouTube for you to let me know where I'm off base on this or whether you agree. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, we have a new episode that comes out every Saturday morning. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. There will be a new episode every week. So until next week, that's our show for today. Thanks for listening. Until next week, I'm Doug Hoyes. That was Debt Free in 30.